Good afternoon. It is Friday, November 12th, 2021. And today we're looking at really an uptrend day. You can see the overnight highs and lows here. And it looked like we were going to stay in that range. But then we broke out. And we hit the measured move of the overnight highs and lows and formed some congestion. And, you know, with this strong leg up, you definitely want to at least measure that leg and look for a measured move there. And it looked like we were going to come short of that because we were just going back and forth, really. And it looked like maybe we would turn down. But, yeah, eventually we made that. And that could, let's see, that could be where we're headed right now. But this was the original target. So let's just take a look at these trades. I don't want to be talking too much, yapping like I did yesterday. And I don't remember. I don't think there was a. Oh yeah, right at 5 a.m. Okay, so I forgot to mark this one. Like right at 5:10 a.m. Unfortunately, I woke up a little late, like 5:23. But you get this first failed second entry short, and you can see this is very congestive right here. But that looks like a good breakout pullback entry just because of this leg up looks very strong. So I would imagine that's pretty close to a measured move. Looks like we actually might have came short of that. Yeah. But you know, you're expecting a second leg up. That's a failed second entry short near the EMA. Only thing I don't like about that is that it's near the midline of the overnight highs and lows. But especially you would have had your highs up here at that point. But I did like that entry. So, but then you don't get an entry until right here, which is a little bit after the open, probably like 20 minutes after the open, 15 minutes. And you get a really nice second entry short after this leg down. Maybe that's 1-2 legs down. And it really looked like we were just going to be ranging all day, especially like this was a tight range, and this lasted from 6:38. This was going on for almost an hour. So after the open, so it really felt like we were going to be ranging all day. And luckily you could have gotten in on this move up because well, I'll get here. Let's just talk through this. You can see we form a level of support right here. We get a bunch of touches. This is just too congestive to enter any of this. But then you get a first. Oh, that's actually a third entry. Maybe I looked at this as a first failed second entry short, and it looks like a second entry long, and it's down here at this important level of support. So I like that. You might look at this as a new low and a first failed second entry on this, but the reason I didn't mark this is because it looks like you're going into the overnight midline of the overnight highs and lows, and you're going into this level of resistance. So, but you can see we made a higher high here and then a higher high here, so you might, and a higher high here, so you might take that. But anyway, you get a really good opportunity down here when we get a first entry and a second entry right back at this level of support. So I like that a lot, and you could have rode this thing, gotten like a 30-point move out of this. I don't think you should enter any of these, but this is clearly off the trend line right here, so you might. But not much to talk about here. This just looks like a higher low with room back to the highs, and same thing with this. It's hard to say if you should. I don't think you should really enter that, but yeah, it was a big leg up, and we come up here, form some congestion. And this is all just too far from the EMA. You really probably should be waiting for a correction to enter, and you don't get a good opportunity here. This is a second entry, and it looks like it's off the measured move of the overnight highs and lows, so you might consider that, but it's risky. Then you get this nice first entry, second entry. Unfortunately, the signal bar didn't close, but I'd probably take that. It looks like a failed breakout of this range. It was pretty clear that this was the lows of the range because of the midline. You see how that midline works and the highs work. So to me, that looked pretty clear that that was the range. So that looks like a failed breakout and a second entry long, and I'd be really tempted to enter on that. But if you're patient, you get a first entry, second entry, and you might even consider going short here just because we hit this measured move. But that's definitely aggressive. It's counter trend. But yeah, we get a second entry long, gets you a scalp, but then we just form some congestion. And here, make a lower high, and we've already had 2 legs up, and we made this new high, so you might consider trying to go short. This looks like on a smaller chart this would definitely be a failure, but we didn't get a lower high. Unfortunately, you get a first entry, but if you're patient, you get a failure right here, and this would definitely be aggressive because you're going into 2 levels of support, this range and the overnight, the measured move. But I like this one. It's at that level of support, and it's like a second entry. Only problem is you're in this. This really looks like a channel down, but I really like that. And you get a scalp, but then it bounces, and you get that failed second entry long, which gives you a nice move. And we come down here, we make this double bottom. You get a first entry, failed second entry short. I don't really, I marked that as blue, but I don't know. I don't like that doji. I don't like the way that's set up. But it is back into the range. And then this, let me draw this. So we hit the measured move up here of this small range, and then we found support down here at that measured move. So when prices came back down and we made this super bullish signal bar that closes on its high, and that's actually a second entry long, I like that. It's aggressive, but I like that. And we get a first failed second entry short, but this level of this range looks like it's holding prices, so I don't like that personally. But then it brings us all the way up to the measured move, and price has kind of been chopping around but making new highs since then. So that's what I saw. I didn't look into this. This looks a little too congested for me. But yeah, that's what I saw, and we can take a look at these trades I took. I was super eager, and I just had FOMO this morning, like terrible FOMO. Oh my gosh! So you get this first failed second entry, but that's too far from the EMA, and I was just like, it just felt like a downtrend, and I wanted to get in on it. Let's see. And so we get this first entry, and I entered on the first entry like a buffoon, because look, right after that first entry you get a second entry. So I enter this, it stops you out by 1 tick, and then it gives you a second entry, and the second entry works. So just be patient. That's really all you have to do, is be patient, because this stuff is not, it does not seem hard to me. If I get over my FOMO, I feel like I'm going to be completely fine with this stuff. So I took both that first entry and the second entry, and then I think I took a third trade, and that was it. Up here, waited for that second entry long, right here. So first entry, second entry. It's like a breakout pullback. It's off the EMA, off the midline, and pretty good signal bar, and it's with trend. So I like that entry. Yeah, and those are the entries I took. That's what I saw in the price action today. So I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll be back next week.